All right, guys, what's going on? Hopefully everyone is doing well. It is 9:30 a.m. Wednesday morning, March 11th here in Sydney, Australia. Wherever you are in the world, I say welcome. We're going to get straight into it. Middle of fight week. Wednesday used to be one of my, like a boring day, but since we're all in this together, Wednesday's an exciting day because we know that the fights are only around the corner. To give everybody a heads up, I'm going live every day this week, twice a day. Yesterday, we did 2 live streams. This is live stream 1 of 2. I'm going to be going live again in a few hours. After this live stream, though, I'll be uploading my stats don't lie breakdown analysis and prediction of the Arnold Barboza Jr. versus Kenneth Sims Jr. fight this weekend. It'll be uploaded on the channel. If you're new to the channel, go to my playlist section, fight predictions, and you'll see all the edited, uploaded breakdown analysis videos dating back a few years ago. Be sure to hit the notification button as well on the YouTube channel so you can be notified every time I drop a new Stats Don't Lie video. We're going to talk about the odds today. Guys, if you're in the Patreon, if you're a JSB Insider on YouTube, go to the members only section on Patreon. Go to the members only section on YouTube. I've given you guys 2 tickets so far going into the weekend with a lot more to come. My dog of the week is up at plus 150. I also gave you yesterday our 4-leg safety net parlay at plus 116. If you're new to the channel, all the tickets I give you will always be plus money, unless we have like a knockout prop at $1.89. Remember when Josh Kelly knocked out the kid in France in the first round? We got him at $1.90. So unless one of those situations, they're always going to be plus money. Also, if you're new, I not only tell you who I'm picking, but you guys see my actual betting slips before and after. So if you're not a JSB Insider, if you're not a VIP, you only see the tips when they hit. But just so everyone knows, because I've been reading the comments, you only post your winning tickets. Not true. All the VIPs see all of my tickets. It's just that they're in a members only section. After they hit, the whole world gets to see it. Okay, so just wanted to clarify. Also, make sure you like this video. The lives have been popping lately. I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. And overnight, I went to bed last night. Our Discord was at 405. We got 10 new JSB Insiders. Shout out to Leroy. Shout out to Double Anchor. Shout out to PWS for the upgrade. He went from level 1 to level 2. So PWS, our level 2 membership, every month you get to pick one fight. I don't care how big or how small the fight is, and I'll break it down for you. I'll do a Stats Don't Lie video for all the level 2s. Keep that in mind. Shout out to Poncho McGee, Rob Palmer, Christian Hernandez for rejoining, Samuel Wright for rejoining, Bando Boy, and Jux J4. If you are an insider and you're not in the Discord, go to the members only section right now on YouTube. You'll see the Discord link. All right, let's get into this. I'm going to say what's up to everybody, and we're going to get right into this. I just have to do that every live, get that out the way. Double Anchor, shout out new JSB Insider. Yeah, we're at 417 now in the Discord, man. It's been great. Andre says, do you see that line moving towards Barboza? And if you guys didn't watch the live stream, we talked about it. I was 70-30 yesterday with me with where my money was going on who I liked in Barboza versus Sims. After talking to you boys for over 2 hours, our live streams, my dog of the week is Arnold Barboza. If you like Barboza, jump on him. I got him at plus 150. I assume those odds might shift even more in Sims Jr. favor. So if you like Barboza Jr., I suggest you jump on him now, as I do always week to week. With our main event, if it's a dog, I'm going to keep the dog. I'm going to keep ABJ on his own ticket, plus 150. When props do drop, I do like the over. I do like the fight to go the distance. So if you are torn on picking a winner in the Barboza Jr. Sims Jr. fight, the prop I like, fight to go the distance, it should be around $1.30, $1.40. You could build a nice little outcome parlay, which I started last week, and I'm going to start doing that week to week. One of the only tickets we didn't hit last week was a 3-leg outcome parlay on the Zuffa card. I put 3 fights to all go the distance at crazy odds. The first 2 hit. The third one didn't because the fight got stopped. What I'm going to do moving forward is I'm going to make an adjustment. I'll continue to post the outcome parlay, but I'll keep it at 2 legs. So this is me learning on the job as well through trial and error. I feel like, you know, we put three outcomes on a ticket and got plus 800, but why be greedy? When the third leg fails, let's go, you know, we'll see if we could build something in plus money, 2 outcomes, and keep it at a double leg. So just pay attention to that. There's a come as well against Gallegos. We'll see when the props drop. It's only Wednesday. Stay close to your books. We got a lot of money line fights right now. We got the Japanese card. We got the UK card. We got the Golden Boy card. We have a Pro Box card. A lot to come. 6 minutes in, we're already at 50 people. Both live streams yesterday, we peaked at over 100. I just ask, if you're new to the channel, I say welcome. Just like this video. You guys liking the video helps us grow. I'm going to take your questions now. I'm going to bring the odds up. We're grooving. Let's go. All right, this is the book. When we get questions specifically about the book, I'll zoom in. Jake Salvador, appreciate you guys. The super chats yesterday were insane. That was the most super chats I've ever gotten on one day of streaming. It was amazing, man. It was very humbling experience for me. I haven't even been doing the live streaming for a year. Been doing it since July, and so it's all new to me. So I really say thank you, man. You guys have no idea how much that helps me. So I say thank you. Barry Unboxing. Not to get too far ahead, but I'm surprised Hutch isn't a bigger favorite against Ezra. Yo, Barry, I actually been watching the media interviews on Ezra Taylor and Willie Hutchinson, and there's some vitriol behind both of these guys. It should be a fun fight. I haven't really looked at the odds yet, but I'll pull them up as we get closer. You're not the first guy to talk about this fight, though. You know, we are an international show. Me being born and raised in America, but spending the last 13 years here in Australia, and then us, you know, having 50% of you guys from the US, 20% from the UK, 20% from Australia, and then people from the Philippines, the islands. So pay attention to your books. When we get closer to that fight week, I'm obviously going to feature that fight, and a lot of you guys have been asking about that fight. Christian, George, Johnny, we need another fight. It's coming. It's coming. You guys, don't you worry, dude. I'm going to do my best like I always do. You guys, if you're new to the channel, you guys should know you're always going to get a long parlay, which is like the fun one. We haven't hit, those are like the 10 plus leggers, half unit sort of thing. You're always going to get a couple dogs of the week. You're always going to get a method of victory parlay. You're always going to get a safety net parlay. Our safety net parlays have been hitting. We only started it in the Clarissa Shields card. So that's a new feature, and 3 weeks in a row, those have hit. Is the guy that Najee is fighting? Look, what we're talking about here is Manny Gallegos. Manny Gallegos, for me, is a mixed bag. We've seen him have really kind of low-level performances, and then we saw him beat Khalil Ko, and then we saw him get stopped against Khalil Ko. This is a smaller guy, too. He was coming up from a smaller division. I don't think he's that guy. He's not that good. This fight is tailor-made for a feature Pro Box main event. Najee Lopez could crack. I like Najee to stop him. Let's look at these odds. I thought that I actually thought these would be just considering Gallegos does have a win against Ko, but that win isn't in the rematch. Ko had rhabdo, which is you get it from overtraining. That was his excuse for losing the first fight. He came back in the second fight and looked exceptional. But then we just saw Khalil Ko against Jesse Hart, and he was gifted a decision. Thank God, because we took Khalil to beat Jesse Hart on the money line, and he won. But man, that Khalil Ko, the first win, and I guess the first win for Gallegos got negated because he got destroyed in the second. But I think Najee is a safe bet. When props drop, I'm looking for a stoppage here. I'm going to stoppage hunt on this one. Peace to the Academy. We up. My question is, will Maxie survive 12 with Pierce? Arnold ticket in. Shawnee Shine. Yeah. So the last few weeks, the boys in the Discord, you know, JSB Insiders, Johnny says boxing, but what we're really becoming as a unit is Johnny Says Boxing Betting Academy. It's really like a betting academy because it's not just me giving my output. Those in the Discord know what I'm talking about. If you go to the NBA channel, you'll see a sharp, one or two sharps in there. If you go to the hockey channel, one or two sharps in there. MMA, one or two sharps in there. Boxing, there's the whole boxing channel in Discord is educated. So, and then that, the proof is in the pudding with our receipts. So shout out to King. I think shout out to Randy on Instagram. Randy, I don't know if Randy is Rando Light, but Dot Randy, he gave me an idea, and I did post. He was like, "Bro, you need to start posting all of the receipts, all the wins on Insta." So I did that, and it's not just me. The Discord, you'll see everyone's winning receipts. So the Academy is what we've truly evolved into. I like Pierce O'Leary. He's the bigger guy. He's the younger guy. He has more pizzazz on his punches. Maxie has historically, because he's been in the game longer, we've seen him look good. We haven't seen him look great. He's 37 now. I think he's fading. I think his it looks like he's fading. He's going to be in there with a. Let's see what these odds look like. I mean, how greedy are we getting? Because $1.47 on the money line is a great parlay builder. I like Pierce to beat Maxie. I don't think Maxie's live here. I know Maxie is going to be a popular pick in our group because boys over the last 8 months. Let me pull it up. So he is a plus sort of 200 dog. He's 30. He's 36 years old now. Yeah, I saw when he fought in December at the end of the year, he fought against Usmanov in Riyadh, and I'm not gonna put anyone. I mean, I'm only bringing this up because it's facts. There were a lot of people who took Hughes to win that fight. That he was a sexy pick. I took him against Archie Sharp the fight before that. He has the win over Gary Cully. I thought he faded in his last fight. I thought he kind of showed his age in his last fight against Usmanov in Riyadh. I'm actually comfortable with he's been in there with the better guys though. Lost to Kambosos, lost to Zepeda, Liam Walsh. Been a pro for a while. Beat John O'Carroll, a guy that people like this weekend. Yeah, guys. Caution UK. Caution your unit depending on how heavy you're going to go. That's all I'm going to say on these fights. The Irish card, you know what I mean? Because these guys, they're going to be dust ups. There's going to be a lot of volume. We've seen a lot of upsets happen. Maxie probably is live. I'm not taking him though. I don't like what he looked like in his last fight. He's going to be gritty. He's going to be durable. He's going to give you all heart. But if you watch the Usmanov fight, he kind of, I think we're seeing the energy system starting to fade. I've been high on Kakachi for a few years. I've been talking about Anthony Anto for a couple years. I'm a fan of him. I don't think the only hesitation is, the back surgery. Some people says it was major. I don't think it was major surgery. He is now in his mid to late 30s. But man, his style I think meshes perfectly for Jazza. Jazza's coming off a career resurgent performance against Badr Gaziev, a fight in which he was plus 500. He goes over to Turkey and with Tyson Fury ringside and stops Badr Gaziev, just derailed all of that hype. So you got to ask yourself, was Badr Gaziev that good? Or was this another sort of example of these, Sumia Umaha, the French Olympian getting rushed and him getting upset? Badr Gaziev getting rushed and getting upset. Galal Yafai, Olympian getting rushed and getting beat by Frankie Rod, even though that was a failed drug test in that one. The Cuban that we saw 6 months ago get kind of rushed and get upset. So it kind of that's up to you how you want to see that. I think Kakachi handles Dickens fairly easily. Will he stop him? Will we play a method of victory? We'll see. I got the method of victory parlays that I post are usually the last ones, sometimes the morning of the fights, because my books sometimes release those late. I'll give you my long parlays, I'll give you my money line parlays, I'll give you my dogs first. So and then as we get sort of, through the week and we get to the weekend, then I'll start making my mind up on who I like, how the outcomes, and a lot of that is a testament to you boys, the chat. I get all the credit when we win because it's my big head and my voice that you guys hear, but you guys have no idea how many times where, my decision making process, not all the time, but a lot of times my decision making process will come down to the chats I have with you. Kakachi by stoppage plus 230. I got him at plus 280. I think he moves Jazz it down. I could see that. Does Maxie have a chance versus O'Leary after moving up in weight and on short notice? I like O'Leary a lot in that fight. And I like Kakachi in that fight. I like both of those. Do you think it's unwise to be parlaying your picks with other sports? That's on you guys. Kevin, all I could tell you, all I could do is be as transparent as possible with the questions you ask me. It's not my style. It's not my style to parlay my boxing with NBA. I don't even parlay boxing with MMA, but some guys do. In the Discord, I forget who it was. He took 4 of my picks on Zuffa, which were crazy odds. He paired it with, I think, the Boston Celtics or someone else, and he hit massively. So that's going to come down to trial and error on your end. Maybe, Kevin, you're a baseball sharp and you've been smashing the World Baseball Classic, and you're like, all right, I know that said team is going to beat this team, and I like Johnny's picks here. It's going to come down to trial and error on your end. I don't know if it's I'm a system guy in everything I do in my life. I wake up at the same time Monday through Sunday. I try to go to bed at the same time. Systems. I train at the same time. I eat at the same time. Systems. I like doing, but that could be me being a bit OCD too, though. I don't like combining different sports on the same parlay. What was that song in the 90s? You gotta keep them separated. Offspring. I think Jazza gets ran over as well. Yeah, we see eye to eye, brother. Do you think Nonito Mosby, you've been here long enough. Nonito Donaire just won't go home. Nonito Donaire just won't go home. And that's a compliment. I turned my back on him years ago. He just won't go home. Let's pull up the odds. I mean, this guy's a living legend, Hall of Famer. Let's pull up that box rec first. He's my age. He's my age, dude. Hell yeah. You got to give it up to the unks, boy. We up. OG, old head out here. I thought, so he's 43-9. I thought Unk was done. I think it was, when was that knockout? Was that 2019? I mean, he lost to Satsumi, Andres Campos. I I don't know if he's live, man. The Andres Campos fight, he looked decent. He got the W. He was an underdog there. The Satsumi fight, it was really close. I can't believe he's still fighting. 9-1, 8 knockouts. Southpaw, bigger dude, young. I got to do my tape on it. What do you think? Do you think Donaire's live? What do you guys think? I haven't quite got there yet. Shout out to Jake, Beast. I made a John O. Pierce Arnold parlay. I feel really good about it. Pierce Arnold. What is that paying, man? That's nice. I like how organized the squad is. What's up, Juan? Top Dog Toya. I'm waiting for props to drop on Gabby. Gabby money line right now really doesn't give us nothing in return. Nothing nice to kind of add. PJ says the props are out. Let me check. What's up, PJ? PJ, the big spender. Gabby money line. Yeah, I'm not getting props yet. So this is the Gabby. This is the Gabby line, and I always bet Fandora Gabby on props. The odds just $3 to you bet $100, you get $3 back. It's not even worth putting on a parlay. But in traditional Gabby Fandora fashion, we're gonna wait till props drop, and when they do, we're gonna see what they look like. I gotta do more tape. Gallegos is now training with Bob Santos. What do you think I like Santos. Santos is an OG, been in the game a while. He's part of the team that as of late with Mario Barrios, his stable champions. He knows what he's doing. He's a good coach. I'm a fan of Santos. I don't know if that's going to help Gallegos against Najee. If you've never seen Najee fight, Najee could fight. Maxie only lasted 4 rounds with Zepeda as a similar pressure style appears. I like and size wise too, man. Maxi's on short notice. Is he going up? Is this up a weight class against Pierce? O'Leary throws mostly ones and twos. He doesn't. Not many people fight like Zepeda though. Zepeda that style Zepeda has. Weaponizing your cardio, your output, walking in the front door, pepper, 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 death by 1,000 paper cuts, never disappears in a fight. Where's he been? Does he have a fight coming up? I want to see Zapeta. Kakashi money line. I agree, blue collar. I agree, blue collar. I'm feeling you. This O'Leary hardest fight might even be trickier than Chamberlain, who he was meant to be fighting. Well, you're always going to be, when you look at Maxie Hughes, who he's fought, who he's been in there with, when you look at his record against Irishmen or at least guys who fight, in the UK, in I think though what we have to be careful with any fighter who's 35 years old and over, including Donaire, including Kakashi, including Maxi, in mid 30s and older, is sometimes we could fall a victim to resume bias rather than recency bias. Now, with a younger fighter in their early 20s, mid 20s who is still leveling up, it's not always safe to judge them on their last performance because they could get better. Brian Norman Jr., is one. When he fights again, it's going to be interesting to see what he looks like. Charles Conwell, we haven't seen him since Chino, his first, when he lost by decision. It's going to be interesting with him. And so my point is, if you're betting Maxie Hughes because of his resume and you're going to say that, well, look who he's been in there with. He's fought the better competition. He's more experienced. That doesn't always work. You kind of have to just look at what he's looked like at 36, his last fight. Usmanov and Riyadh. He kind of faded. And we could do that with all of our fighters. Kenny Sims Jr., Kenny's 32, 33. Arnold's 34. Both of them coming off decision losses. So this is a kind of a crossroads fight. Both guys need a win for their careers. What did they look like in their last fight? Pretty interesting. So Nonito Donaire coming off a loss. Pretty interesting. So you can't just look at Nonito's body of work and say, well, he's been, Hall of Famer, living legend, going against a guy with under 15 pro fights. He should wash him. Can't always do it. He's 43 years old. You know what I'm saying? So that resumes aren't always a black and white issue regarding using as a tool to come to terms with who you're betting on. It is a tool, but sometimes you have to ask yourself, what have you done for me lately with the fighter? And sometimes you can use the overall resume in your favor to say, hey, this guy's been in there with the better guys. That experience should get him through. It just comes down to the matchup, and this is where these are points in gambling where we like talking about. This is the education side, understanding the strategies, understanding matchmaking, understanding A sides, understanding the politics, who is the promotions guy. And then the odds really, it should always start with the odds and then finish with the odds when we're doing our sort of diagram of how we come to terms with who we're picking. What are the odds? Go through your system. What are the odds? Boom, I'm making this pick. That's kind of how I roll. Guys, we're going between 70 and 90 in the live stream. Could you like this video? Let me know where you're coming in from. Join the Discord. Become a VIP. I'm talking. The chat's popping. I'm going to try to go. I talk a lot. I'm going to try to get through all of them. How do you feel about Jono? I'm still torn on this, man. Where's Kiza at? I want Kiza on here. Where's Blue Collar at? I want to hear Blue Collar's take on this. So, John Carroll, I'm gonna call. I'm gonna message. If you guys don't follow Joe Stunner Boxing on YouTube, go follow Joe Stunner Boxing on YouTube. I'm gonna message him right now. Joe Stunner Boxing, what's up, big dog? Quick question: where's your lean on? How do you feel about the John O'Carroll Calm Murphy fight? Of all the good fights this weekend, the boys have been asking me a lot about this matchup. Interested in hearing your take. So whenever Joe Stunner gets back to me, I'll let you guys know. He's kind of my UK source. He's from London, been in the game longer than I've been. I rarely ever meet guys who are content creators who are older than me, who've been in the game. Like, I could talk boxing with Joe Stunner from, like, he'll start talking about the golden era fighters. So whatever he said, I'm gonna still do my tape. Give me a couple days on that fight. What's up, JP Hunnit, PJ Hunnit, Mosby? Najee parlay. That's gonna be plus money. My dogs, Gasville in the house. I did this UFC group. We got to make a no bet list weekly. I did this with my. Who's on your no bet list? No distance. Yeah, Julius. What's up, Jay? I like that too. I don't know. Am I overhyping Najee Lopez? I think Najee could stop Gallegos. But you're saying no distance because you think Najee could get stopped? Is that kind of a hedge on that, or would you odds play Najee by stoppage, or is it better odds the other way around? No, he not Randall Light. He not Randall Light. Though my name is Randy. Okay. Only one Randall Light. Remember that. There's only one. Sent from Pat Johnny. I like systems as well. I believe living like a robot is the best thing ever. A little bit of emotions as long as live shows good results most of the time. Yeah, I wouldn't say I live like a robot. See that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know my personality type. I come from a long line of addicts, and this isn't supposed to be sort of like a victim statement. This is actually a positive statement. My bloodline, both from Italy and Czechoslovakia, the men in my bloodline are savages, dating back hundreds of years. I did a DNA ancestry thing once, and tracing back my father's bloodline to Prague. He was born in Prague at the time, Czechoslovakia, and the last name Stavko used to be really long, and when Stavko was cut in half, it was cut into two names, Stavko and Stoker. I found this out 20 years ago when I was in college. My great 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 uncle is the guy who wrote Dracula, Bram Stoker. Crazy. Like, I've traced, you could trace my last name to the village in that part of Eastern Europe. And so I only say that because I have a bit of, I could go off the rails, dude. In my 20s, I was crazy. I was a savage. I was fun to party with. We go out on the town where we're either, bringing something home or we're fighting, that sort of thing. And so as I aged into a man and became an adult and became responsible and became somebody that you would like to be friends with, I had to work through those years. I was an asshole, dickhead. I used to fight all the time. And then you go as men, it's important for us to evolve and level up and change. And I know for me, what works best is having systems in place that are positive, that keep me aligned, whether it's my food, whether it's my sleep patterns, all that. And over time, it becomes who you are. I've been living like a samurai probably for a solid 14 years now, and over time it becomes who you are. I have to do more tape on Gabby's opponent. And you guys, do you remember last week when we picked Jai Apataya to win on points, not because of Jai, but because of how durable Brandon Glenn is. Sometimes that's the case. With Gabby Fundora and the knockout prop, the last few fights, I've taken Gabby by knockout because of how good of a puncher she is. So I do look at who she's fighting. Remember she fought Maria Badillo, the undefeated Mexican girl? And she was just totally out. And there were people even dog hunting on Badillo. I was like, dude, you guys are insane. And Badillo was tough enough until she wasn't. And that's the type of power Gabby has. You don't see a lot in the women's division. It's not like Gabby's stoppages come from flurrying and then the refs do a UK special and jump in and stop it. Gabby's punches, boy, they come from boom, clean shots, punch selection, setups, slip, boom, backhand. So she knows how to punch. So a lot of times when I take her, especially because she's young and she's learning still, and just similar to her brother, man, these guys and these girls and guys live in the gym. Their family built a gym on their compound. What does that tell you? That tells you that they're married to the game and they're constantly adding levels to their game. So with Gabby, when I take her by knockout, it's usually all about her. I still will look at her opponent, but it's usually all about her. Kyle Hayden in the house. Shout out. This is our guys, if you're in the Discord, this is our secret assassin weapon for the live streaming events. Something we don't talk about a lot. Is that sometimes, and I'll pay pay-per-view prices, you know, pretty much most of the time, but sometimes in Sydney, we don't get offered cards. There's sometimes cards you guys get in America that we can't even pay for. And Kyle in the Discord, he will stream these cards. So you're the real VIP. I've watched fights in Japan that I would have never been able to watch because of this dude. So I got a lot of love for Kyle Hayden, man. Maxi is going up lightweight to super lightweight. That's what I thought. And that's a tall task at 36, 37 years old, coming off of a loss, taking it on short notice. But Maxi does seem like the type of guy that would perform well on short notice. He seems like the type of guy who kind of is an unheralded underdog, who likes going into somebody's backyard, who likes the odds stacked up against him, probably is going to fight his ass off. Pierce O'Leary is a tall task at this stage of Maxi's career. And I think I rewatched the Usmanov fight. I think I saw a little bit of wear and tear. Yep. Ordered Roach versus Zepeda. Yo. I'd love that. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. People sleep on William Zepeda. I like that style. You got it. That style is a hard style to perfect. And shout out to Shakur for fighting the way he did against Zepeda. Zepeda's a lot to deal with. We'll see if Roach. If this goes down, this is going to be a great litmus test for guys like myself who have kind of put Roach on this platform. People think Roach is really, really, really good based off of the Pitbull performance, the Tank performance, and his body of work, his catch and countering, his reaction, his speed, his accuracy, punch selection, fight IQ. We're going to see if he can handle that Camarón style. So I hope that goes official. Chat's heating up. Guys, we're 35 minutes in, between 70 and 90 of the boys. Could you just like this video? I've been looking at the statistics. Just liking this video really, really helps the growth. We are a small community. I like keeping it small, but growth, we can help more and more people, and that's what we're doing. Why are they stripping Shakur? So if you guys really look into, if you want to nerd out about the politics of boxing, any world champion with the sanctioning bodies, whether it's the IBF, the WBO, the WBA, the WBC, belt holders pay to have the belt, which is insane. I spent a couple years pandemic years managing a female fighter out of Sydney, and for 4 fights. And so I thought I knew a lot about. I thought I knew everything about boxing. I realized I didn't know shit about the business side of boxing. Those 4 fights, we had to pay for her opponent's flights. We had to pay for her opponent's hotels. We had to pay for the ref. We had to pay for the belt. And she's not. And the girl I was managing at the time, um, wasn't she was trying to. We ended up getting her a world title shot, which she ended up getting dog walked. But that's the female divisions for you because it's a newer sort of thing. But anyway, yeah. So world champion. He didn't. He was like, dude, I'm not paying you $150,000. Paying you for what? And so shout out to Shakur. And Bud Crawford a few years ago was really vocal about this as well. I think it was um, after he beat EJ at 47, and he went up to 54 to fight Madrimov. And one of the sanctioning bodies were playing ball. They didn't strip him. One of them was threatening to strip him, and he was vocal about it. He was like, "Why would?" He's like, "It's the biggest con. I'm going to pay you $150,000 to wear the belt for what? Where's that money go?" PJ Philly in the house. So we got PJ the promoter and PJ 100. Just so we got 2 PJs in the squad because two very different personalities in a good way. Joe seems like a cool dude. I started watching him after you spoke about him a few months ago. Yeah, Joe Stunner Boxing. The way he delivers his content is just kind of like he's in his room. He got his old robe on. He'll be drinking a cocktail. It's I don't know if I've ever seen him smoke. I feel like Joe Stunner. The reason why I like his content is that it's old school boxing. I feel like when I'm watching him break down fights, and he does it so cavalier, he does it just so nonchalant. I feel like we're at an old dark bar, like an old dark pub, low, dimly light with smoke in the room in like East London, having like an old fashioned talking about old fights. So, and I kind of relate to that. Hardwick fight, no bet list. Hardwick, dude, is which Hardwick brother is this? Because both of them fought in Cage Warriors. Is this the Hardwick brother who beat Kyle? I interviewed. This is when I was still doing MMA interviews only. Khabib Nurmagomedov's sparring partner for years at what's that gym? What's DC's gym? Kyle. He's in the PFL now. He went to the UK to fight for the Cage Warriors belt, and he fought one of the Hardwick brothers and was winning until he wasn't. And I know one of the Hardwick brothers now are in the UFC. Brad Tavares, no bet list. Not mad at that. Yeah, crazy, right? Crazy story. Think John O'Carroll is fighting his hometown. Combs not really been with anyone. No, John's last chance. I'll let you know my take on that. I'm gonna wait for Stunner to get back to me. Is Ramirez live versus Valle? Ramirez is former champ. Let's see. I haven't looked at this fight. Guys, the Japanese card is looking very, very interesting. So let's not forget about the Japanese card. That's at the end. We'll handle the Japanese card in a couple days. We'll handle the UFC picks in a couple days. What is this fight Jay's asking me? Eduardo Ramirez. This is the Golden Boy card. I'm not getting, or is it, yeah, I'm not getting odds on it. It'll probably show up tomorrow or the next day. Just finished watching Giant. The Engel family definitely made not see him come across like an ungrateful prick. Nas said he wants to put a documentary out. Wahlberg expressed interest. I need that. I'm a big fan of Prince Nassim Ahmed, man. He put the small fighters on the map. One of my favorite scenes, one of my favorite clips is when he had, was it Gary? Right after his fight, he was trying to fight for a world title. And was it Gary? I hate using the internet to answer my questions, guys. My brain used to be so smart. I'm going to have to use it here. Man, you had to be there to understand the cultural significance of Prince Nassim Ahmed. The walkouts every time Prince fought. I'm not going to say it was just like Mike Tyson pay-per-view fights, but it was kind of similar. All my boys, at least, were in like in. So this would have been in Gary. Who am I thinking of? Kevin Kelly. So yeah, I was 15 years old in 1997. So I'm in high school in 1997, right? I'm a sophomore in high school. Every time Prince Nassim fought, all of it, we'd get the pay-per-view in my boy Eddie Itame's basement. Shout out to Eddie. And Prince just fought Jose Badillo. It was either the Badillo fight or the Juan Cabrera fight. And he wanted to get that Kevin Kelly fight, and Kelly was ringside. And Prince sits there, puts his arm around Kelly. Kelly's in like a suit, and Nassim's he's like, I'm gonna knock your Spock out, mate. I'm gonna knock your Spock out. And I'm like a 15-year-old from Ohio, like, what did he just say, dude? Dude, everything from the walkout, the ring entrances, to the unorthodox approach. He was a lightning rod. Everyone likes to talk about, oh, that one fight that he lost. It's not with Prince Nassim Ahmed. It's about what he meant to boxing, what he meant to the sport culture. He broke through. You don't see that a lot. Only one or a handful of times in our life we'll see fighters break through what I always say, the zeitgeist, into pop culture. Prince Nassim Ahmed did that, dude. He was, mate. He was a joy to watch. That Fedora compound is awesome. I want to go there one day. Why do you want to go there, Randall? Yeah, me too. I want to train there. Why does No Limit make it? Because yeah, I don't want to get into it. Barium, I agree with you. I'm on your side. It fucking annoys me. Put it this way. Tim Tszyu's last fight 3 months ago, the one I went to, it was basically almost just the same. Granted, I live like 6 miles from the ICC, where Darling Harbor in Sydney. It was almost the same price. I was like, I could go to the fights and get sweet ass tickets for X amount of money, or I could stay at home and pay $75 on pay-per-view. I'm going to the fights. So it's a travesty, mate. It's a freaking travesty, dude. Zarafa, Fandora, Blue Collar says, Johnny, what's your opinion on WBC making Zepeda versus Roach for the title instead of I don't know, man. I have to look into this. Javier Herrera, I guess their move, I mean, they're probably playing politics. The household names. Roach, Zepeda, but I don't know many people wanting to fight Javier. I mean, they got to make money. Think about the bill. Having Roach versus Zepeda or one of those guys versus Herrera. Herrera still needs... I have a lot of hopes for Javier. He just needs to kind of like... It's sad to say, it's the unspoken truth, but boxing is entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Got to build that brand. Got to build that brand. EV, one of the dogs is out. I got at plus 150. Check the picks. My dog of the week thus far is... You guys should already know that. I already posted it. Arnold Barboza Jr. Michael Collin is a slight favorite versus Kevin. What wins that fight? Mick Collin. Mick Collin won me money last fight with the knockout on a comeback. People wrote him off. I love UK boxing, man. I love the storylines. I love the grittiness of the fighters. I love how no one has perfect records. I like how you could get a matchup, a rematch late in the mid-30s between Lee Wood and Josh Warrington, even though it wasn't the fight I thought it was going to be. It's just like the kids just love to fight. I like watching Conlon fight. What's up, Jeff Hemphill? Appreciate you. Joe be chilling. He old school. 100. Yeah, dude, he got that robe. Joe got that, like, he wears like a robe. I sometimes see him with some diamonds in his ears. I'm like, this dude out here pimping. Pimping since pimping. Zuffa signs Vosdick. He's 38. This is a guy I always talk about. No, they signed Vosdick after he literally had that win. Like he was steamrolling Hot Rod, was steamrolling him, and then he got steamrolled. He looked good. He almost looked in too good of shape. We talked about this on fight night. He almost looked like he was too ripped. It's hard to. He was, dude. The dude was in, like, optically impeccable shape. But now watching and knowing how that unfolded with his durability, did he cut too much? Was he carrying too? I don't know these answers. And at 38, when the lights start, when the chin starts getting checked like that, it's usually a sign to hang him up. And nobody wants to fight Derevyanchenko, dude. Nobody. This guy, bricks in his hands, durable as hell. No one's, dude. That's a goddamn nightmare for anybody. Put your hand. How many guys are saying, "Oh, I want to fight Sergey Derevyanchenko"? Hell nah. We got Zan Gemma 6951. We got our newest JSB insider just joined. For all the JSB insiders, to get our Discord VIP link, it's pinned in the members only section on YouTube. To answer Retro CJD, the link is pinned in this chat, Retro. You have two options. Join here on YouTube. If you do join here on YouTube, once you join, go to the members only section. You'll see the Discord link. Or you could join the Patreon. Each one, you get members only live streams. You get all my picks. Whichever one you join, or if you join both, you become a member of our VIP Discord. So Johnny, just checking it now. We'll have to watch it back, Mike from Melbourne. My guy, Ozzy. The Hardwick brother in the UFC was leg kicked to death in China. He had to be wheelchaired out of the ring. It was crazy. Wow, so it was the other one. Thank you for answering this, boys. George Hardwick beat Kyle, but then he lost in Contender. Okay. Harry is in the UFC. He got short notice fight on his debut and got stopped with leg kicks. Educated chat, not just boxing. Guys, we're floating between 88 and 108 in the live stream. We're approaching our 50th minute. If you're just tuning in now, after I wrap this up in about 10 minutes, I'm going to upload my Stats Don't Lie breakdown analysis and prediction video of the main event in Anaheim at 147 pounds between Arnold Barboza Jr. and Kenneth Sims Jr. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you have notifications on. You'll see my pick. I'll tell you where I'm putting my money. Also, if you are an insider, whether on Patreon or YouTube, I have 2 tickets that are live for all the VIPs. My 4-leg safety net parlay at plus 116 and my dog of the week at plus 150. You guys are going to get a bunch more, so stay tuned. It's Wednesday at 10:15 a.m. We are heating up for another exciting weekend of boxing. We are on a roll. Boss Christo says, I get excited when I see Johnny's dogs. What do you like about Barboza compared to his opponent? Great question. I appreciate that you're tuning in. I appreciate that I could serve you guys with winning picks. I take this personal, meaning that I put a lot of energy and effort into this. We all love to win, and we're not just picking things out of the thin air. So questions like the second half of this, I really like. Here's what I like. The fight's at 147. Both guys are coming off decision losses. Sims, in his hometown of Chicago, had this card built around him, fighting a really tough Oscar Duarte, especially this version. Post-knockout version of Duarte is a lot to deal with, and Sims was a little bit too hesitant and lost the points decision, just wasn't pulling the trigger in situations, and was kind of getting outworked, right? Now, Barboza Jr. is coming off also a loss against Teofimo Lopez, part of that Ring Magazine card in Times Square with no crowd. Wasn't really even a feature. It was like maybe the third fight down from the main events. And he lost a points decision, was just out athletic, out explosive. When you match these guys up, though, and both guys, and Barboza was coming off a massive win against Jack Catterall, went to the UK as a plus 350, came back and, got this feature. Now, this is a homecoming for Barboza. Golden Boy A-side for Barboza. He was born in Long Beach, California. Anaheim is 12 miles away from Long Beach. The pond where the Anaheim Ducks play, where they're having this fight, the Honda Center, is going to be rocking for ABJ. I like his style. He's an inch on paper shorter, but he has a 3-inch reach advantage. I like his jab. Neither guy has knockout power. I actually give the power advantage to Arnold Barboza Jr. I think Barboza Jr. is boxing. Kenneth Sims is a good boxer. He fights sometimes, I feel like he's a bigger puncher than he is. He likes fighting on the inside. Barboza Jr. is really good at controlling where the fight takes place on the inside with volume. I think Barboza Jr. out volumes him and outpaces him. And I like Barboza Jr. on points at plus 150. He's the dog, but he's the A side. That place is going to be a pro Barboza Jr. crowd. And I feel that you give me ABJ a plus money, hometown kid, with that style, volume, you know, Sims Jr. has 8 knockouts. Barboza only has 11. I feel if Sims had more power, it would change the narrative based off of Barboza Jr.'s style. Both guys like to be there in range, in the wheelhouse. I just like Arnold's jab more. I like his reach advantage more. I like his output and pace more. Sometimes I feel that Sims Jr.'s style, he sometimes gets caught going through laws of not enough action for me. I do like his counters. I give Sims Jr. the hand speed advantage, better athlete. But other than that, from a boxing perspective, fight IQ perspective, setting traps, the trickier fighter, I give all that to Barboza Jr. I actually thought Sims would be the dog. So when I saw going into fight week, we got Barboza at plus money, I was like, that's it. Naz, Prince Nassim Ahmed, the Prince. Naz. I suggested Troy Osley should fight Aaron McKenna. Where I want to see Aaron McKenna fight, man. He hasn't fought since that performance against Beefy. Saying he would take that fight, promotion free agent. McKenna seems frozen. Yeah, what the hell, man? Sheffield in the house. Yeah, I'm a big fan of UK boxing. Hold on, you just can't skip it. Yeah, man, you didn't know that? I grew up in Youngstown, Ohio. I was born in Youngstown. Lived right in the city up until I was 18. Went to Youngstown State for a semester, and then transferred to Pitt, University of Pittsburgh. But my whole family, cousins, I have 3 sisters. My pops passed away when I was in my 20s, but my mom, all my relatives, aunts and uncles live in Youngstown. So every time I visit the States, I lived in Long Beach, California for 7 years. I lived in Las Vegas for 2. But I'll fly to LA, stay there. I'll go to Northeast Ohio, visit Youngstown, Pittsburgh. I'll come back to that. I'll go down to Miami because I got people there. And then I always finish in Vegas. But yeah, man, I thought you knew that. That magazine right there, that's a Youngstown Valley magazine from 2005. That's Kelly Pavlik. We grew up together. I talk about him all the time on the show. I'll bring him on one day. I should bring Kelly on the show. We were baseball teammates from the time we were 7 until we were 14. So our relationship goes beyond the boxing gym. He was my catcher. I was the pitcher. We used to win tournament after tournament. So that's my man. The Ohio. I thought everybody knew I was from Ohio. It's crazy. I guess I don't talk about it as much as I thought I did. It's crazy to think that Prince retired at 28. We're about the same age, and I grew up appreciating his showmanship. He was a terrific fighter. Oh, entertainment. We're in the entertainment business, man. I know his son's fighting. John Locke is God. Guys, man, I'm on. I guess Fabio made me a believer. When I look at what both of these guys do really well, obviously power. Dubois the more seasoned guy. He's the classier guy. Been a world champion before. But Wardley just to me has this X factor that goes beyond his power. Wardley just seems to me he has this belief in himself that I've seen Dubois question in himself. And in a heavyweight barn burner firefight where the lights could go out at any second and you could be put in a position to have to pick yourself up off of the canvas, I think I'm leaning Wardley here, which sounds crazy. What sounds crazy? Mick Conlon. RGK, I signed up on Patreon. I'll do it right now. Did you just sign up on Patreon now? What's your Patreon name? Do a little bit of behind the scenes business real quick. Are you Juan JM on Patreon? RGK? Because we got 3 new Discord VIPs in the last 20 minutes. Let me know if you're Juan JM. If you are, I just sent you the Discord link. PJ, Arnie Dawson live. Why does everyone think Arnie Dawson's live at plus 650? The difference between the Patreon and Discord. No. The Discord is a community. It would be, what's the difference between the Patreon and the YouTube member section? So to access, because I don't have a paywall on Discord. Discord doesn't have a specific paywall, right? So if you look at Discord as our academy, the JSB Johnny Says Boxing Discord is an academy. We have a group of over 400 VIPs, boxing, MMA, football. It's a betting academy. It's a community. You guys could interact with each other, share your slips. People, have created friendships in that community since August, which is why I started this, right? So the Discord's a community. The 2 access points to get into the Discord: YouTube, which not everybody has, and Patreon. So I started the Patreon in December because there were a lot of people who were messaging me, hey, Johnny, I don't have a Google account. I don't do YouTube. So I started the Patreon, and the Patreon is an access point to get to the Discord. If you're a member on both, you're getting all of my tips. You're getting all of my parlays, all of my tickets. I post them in Patreon member section, YouTube member section. Now, on YouTube, benefit of becoming a JSP Insider on YouTube, you get more accessibility on the live streams. You get featured shout outs. You get members only content, video only content. And on Patreon, I do Patreon members only live streams that they just started letting me do. So they're access points to join the squad, to join the academy. Guys, we're approaching an hour. We have 70 in here. I'm going to lock it up just because I have a lot of work to bring you guys. I got a lot of stuff I got to get to. Stay tuned to the channel. I'm going to be uploading in the next hour my prediction, my Stats Don't Lie video of Sims Jr. versus Barboza Jr., even though you already know who I'm going with. And I'm going to be going live one more time today. I appreciate all the support. Let's get this.